Chris wrote down all the camera gear. No one can read it because he writes like a friggin' doctor. We get a lot of questions on Instagram about what camera gear we use, so we just decided that it would just be easy for us to make a video. All of the stuff we're going to show you in this video are all of the things that are in our camera bags for when we travel, which is kind of crazy because you're going to be like, guys, why do you travel with so much stuff?
So we've broken our gear up into two main categories, video and photo. So for photos, we use a 5D Mark III.
This strap that's made by Ona.
The widest lens we have is the 16-35 f2.8 Mark II L series lens.
It's a rectilinear wide angle, so it's super wide, but it doesn't give that full fisheye look. It's really great for shooting interiors and landscapes and some portraits if you like to go wide with your portraits like I do.
Next lens is the 24-70 f2.8 L series lens. It's constant aperture f2.8 throughout its entire focal range. Keep in mind all the gear that we're showing you guys is not something we acquired overnight. So if you're new to making photos or video, you don't need to go out and drop however many thousands of dollars on all of this.
We've had that lens since 2007 and the 16-35. My personal favorite lens is the 50 1.2. It gives like the most shallow, razor thin depth of field, and it doesn't focus that close, but it's amazing for portraits, detail shots, and we shoot some B-roll with it. It's expensive for a prime lens, but if you're looking for a 50, they also make a 1.4 and a 1.8. And I've heard good things about all of those lenses. So all of the lenses we're showing you are L series lenses.
These will work on crop bodies or full frame. On a full frame, it'll be a true 50mm field of view. If you put it on a crop body, focal length still technically is 50mm, but you're effectively getting a narrower field of view as if you're cropping in. So they say multiply your focal length by 1.6.
So your 50 turns into an 80. Last and final Canon lens in the bag is this 70-200 f4 that's been kicking around for years.
12 years.
Holy shit.
It's 2005 we've had this since. I just wanted one of those big white lenses, and this was the cheapest one. And they make 4 different versions of the 70-200. There's the f4, there's the f4 now IS, f2.8 non-IS, and then there's f2.8 IS. It's like the lightest and smallest, but it's also the cheapest. I don't know, we don't use telephoto enough to justify upgrading this. For all of our lenses, we've opted not to use protective UV filters or anything like that.
4 of these Canon batteries we actually lost 2, so we have 2 batteries. Plus battery chargers as well. And we have the 5D Mark III takes SD cards and CF cards. We choose to shoot on compact flash. A lot of the time lapses we shoot are on the 5D, and we use this intervalometer. We use this remote timer with the 5D to shoot time lapses instead of doing them on the video camera. They're high resolution, we get photos out of them, and they grade and slash process way nicer than video clips do.
I've had this for 13 years, and the 5D Mark III might even have a built-in intervalometer. We've been using this, it's familiar to us, so. Okay, so for video gear, we use a Sony a7S II. That's basically our primary camera. It's kind of our newest toy.
This is what we vlog with pretty much 100% of the time.
The only lens that we have that's a native Sony lens is the 16-35 f4 OSS. That's basically our walk-around lens. The other lenses we have just mentioned from our Canon kit we use with a METABONES adapter. This thing here basically allows us to use our Canon lenses. What is that? So if you ever see anything that looks like it has nice creamy depth of field, it's probably from one of our Canon lenses with a longer focal length. The only downside of this is that your autofocus absolutely sucks. So anytime we're using this and any of those lenses, we're using manual focus. A lot of people ask about what mic we use. It's a Rode Video Micro. I think $60, and it comes with its own dead cat, and it doesn't need its own power source.
We usually keep these in our bags. They're Aspen mics. We have 3 of them, 2 black ones and a nude color one. And they have this attachment on the end where they just plug into our phone. We use the Rode app on our iPhones to record the audio, and that's how we do lapel mic audio.
Something else we use for video that not many people know about is a variable ND filter. The reason we use that is because we shoot all of our video in S-Log3, which is a very flat gamma. The lowest ISO you can have is ISO 1600 on the Sony a7S II. If you're shooting in broad daylight, that's a lot of light that is coming in, so you need to either stop down your lens to a very small aperture and you won't get a nice depth of field, or your shutter speed's up in like the hundreds or thousands, which makes very stuttery motion. So what the ND filter does is it blocks light and allows you to use a more normal shutter speed. So if you're shooting 24 frames a second like we do, we can shoot at 1/50th of a second to simulate our 180-degree shutter angle and make the motion blur look more natural. You rotate it, it blocks out the light. It uses two polarizing filters, and as they go in and out of phase to one another, that's how it blocks light, in case you're wondering.
And we got this one from ProMaster, and we also have another one. This one is made by Hoya.
The reason we didn't like this filter though is because at its extreme, it vignettes, makes this weird cross vignette. We like the new ProMaster one because it has mechanical stops from minimum to maximum, as opposed to this one which just freely turns.
We have a lot of A7S2 batteries.
We have 4 of us.
We have 4.
3 battery chargers, 4 batteries.
That drone.
We use the Phantom 4. Well, Fanny's been through a lot. We have 3 batteries with it. We have 4, but I broke one. And then this is the standard remote control that comes with it.
Extra propellers,
propellers, because we break them all the time. I've been using this filter kit from Digital Concepts. It was like $20. It comes with 3 combined ND/circular polarizing filters, cheaper than one of the DJI ND filters.
So when we started our vlog, we had the OSMO Pro. I thought it was going to be a game changer, and turns out it wasn't so much. So we bought the A7S2. We swapped the OSMO Pro for the regular Osmo.
And we still use that for steady handheld gimbal stabilized shots.
So we have this case for the Osmo. It's like a hard case. It's really great to have for that like stable, steady video, since we don't have a stabilizer for the A7S2 right now. We have a number of batteries. And one battery that actually connects to a drone battery, so you can shoot pretty much the entire day on the Osmo batteries. We also have a bike mount, which is really cool. For underwater shooting, extreme shooting, being up on the mountain, we have the GoPro Hero 5 Black and the GoPro Hero 5 Session.
Yeah, this is the RAM Products clamp. It's we'll link it in the description below. And the other specialty mount we have is, we'll link it at the bottom. It's a little bit specific. It's made specifically for Robinson helicopter center ribs, so it can clamp on. I've modded it with some duct tape so it doesn't scratch the center rib. And it has this little called a Vibex plate, and it's supposed to dampen motion.
So we also have this RAM mount. We attach it usually to the front or top of the car. We put the GoPro on it and just shoot a time lapse. We've also used this on snowboards when we've been out on the mountains, and it's really sturdy. It's actually quite strong once it's stuck on there. We also have a number of accessories that go with the GoPro. Floaty, handle, head mount, guys.
Things.
Yes, we have a selfie stick, which you've seen in the videos.
We have 4 batteries and the dual battery charger, which is key.
Is key. That's all of our actual gear. Now we're gonna just talk about accessories. Tripods. A vlogger's must have. The GorillaPod. ProMaster was so kind to send us this travel tripod, which I've been dying to get something like this for a long while. One of the legs comes off and it turns into a monopod. It fits on the bag like perfect, and it's so tiny and it matches.
Oh, it's so compact. So the other tripod we're using right now, it's really cool. It's a carbon fiber tripod. It's actually only a little tiny bit heavier than that travel tripod.
But it's bigger and it gets huge. It gets really friggin' tall. Blog post on our blog, theuncommonlaw.ca, with all of the stuff outlined. We'll leave links to everything in case you're curious of what they are. So we have a 13-inch MacBook Pro. We don't do any video editing with it because it doesn't really handle 4K footage that great, but we use it for dumping cards. And so we have this Western Digital Pocket hard drive. It's a terabyte, and we just dump all of our cards onto this, and then we keep all of the footage and photos on the cards until we get home, so we have 2 backups of things. So for cards, we have this Pelican case, which holds all of our compact flash cards. Second, we have another case. These are for our SD cards. 2, one from ProMaster, and then the other one is a Lexar card. They're both 256 gigabytes, and they're both really fast for video. And then we have this micro SD card reader converter. Osmo, the GoPro, and the drone all take micro SD cards, so we have to use this to transfer the files on the card reader.
We've got some SanDisk 64 gig cards that we use for all of those micro SD devices. We have this giant microfiber towel that we take with us. We just added it to our kit because we realized when we were at the hot springs last time that our lens got completely covered in water. 10,000 milliamp hours.
10,000 milliamp hours. These will charge an iPhone about 5 times. This one charges it about 3.
And built-in light. Oh. We have 4 of these and 2 of the small ones. These are good actually because you can charge the GoPro batteries with them, so that's very handy as well.
So for camera bags, I use this ProMaster CITYSCAPE bag, I think it's called. Lots of pockets on the outside, and it opens up and it's quite shallow. And it's got the chest strap, which is key considering this bag is about 30 pounds. Feels like it gets heavier when you're doing stuff with it. So it's got the chest strap and the waist strap. I always keep a carabiner on the top of my camera bags just in case I need to attach anything.
Clip on things like our travel pouch, which we have referenced in a prior video. This bag basically has all the stuff that we need for our car charging station.
For the drone, we have a drone dedicated backpack that's made by Manfrotto. drone dedicated backpack.
So I like this bag because it can hold the drone completely concealed, and all the batteries, the controller, and everything contain everything. And you can close it up completely and zip it up this way. If you have the props mounted already and you know you're going to be using the drone again, you can actually mount the drone on like this, and it'll clip in like this with the props exposed. So you can be ready to go, just literally just unclip this and take the drone out and you're ready to fly it.
That's all of the stuff that we have in our camera bag. That's what we travel with, that's what we shoot with. We usually just travel with every single bit of our gear because you never know when you might need them. Maybe that's a bit excessive, but it's come in handy on multiple occasions.
Yeah, and if we're just walking out the door, we'll just grab the A7S with a 1635 on it. That's pretty much our go-to.
Let us know in the comments below if you have any questions. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when we post new videos. Okay, I think it's summertime now.
Okay, toting the whole time.
Just chilling. Bit of illin' hot dog grilling.
Rockin', rolling.
Down to the beach I'm strolling.